Hey to all the listeners out there who have been desperately waiting for, or maybe not that desperately, for chapter 3. So here you go.
If you found the one, you should never give her up. I think it's the way life changes.
Chapter 3. YouTube Music Award Function Opening Event. Well, it wasn't written in bold letters out loud, but in a small, insignificant placard standing at the main entrance. It was more of a private event. The numbers weren't really private, with classic, high-end soft music played by a live band. It was plainly a contact-based party celebrating YouTube's next venture on connecting diversified musicians across the globe. While the party was buzzing, picking up a noting energy, Vera stood in a quiet corner, standing lone but not quite alone. How could you say such things about your Jiju, Vera? No, I can't allow it. Rani, Vera's friend, teased her. Thoroughly amused by the rows of rants, Vera went over the conference phone call. Oh, shut up, Rani. You can keep him all by yourself in your pocket, okay? My Maluma fever is gone. Arey yaar, shut it you two. Vera, now will you fill me with the details now? And Vera didn't hesitate retelling Soumya the happenings of the whole event. To summarize it all, this is what happened. Maluma. The moment Vera was detached from his embrace, she felt cold, drenched in embarrassment. He pushed her away quickly as if he had touched a hot pan accidentally, acting as if the whole ordeal didn't happen. She looked around, finding her specific corner pretty deserted. She gained her composure from the little accident back then. What was I even thinking? That he will hold me up in his arms forever? She briefly looked at him again. And what was that untouchable attitude he's throwing off at me? They're all nice and approachable on camera, but in reality he's filled with a celebrity ego. Brushing away the incident, quickly getting over just how soon she got mad at it, she resumed, picking her dropped phone, and by God's graces, it was safely intact. The moment her fingers brushed the glass body, both her arms were pulled back up without any warning. She turned around to come face to face across, again, Maluma. This time, closer, the smell of fresh mint wafting off from his mouth. The proximity and his hold was definitely bothering her. This time, she wasn't fazed by his handsomeness nor his expressions that turned soft, the kind that could have turned your knees to all jelly. She was irritated and heatedly spoke. "Excuse me? What's wrong with you? Please, get off." But he didn't, and the spot they stood in gave them a good advantage to stay away from the prying light of spotlight, their voices being muffled by music and the pantry clutter. He instead had carried on to grab her face between his hands, ringing alarm bells in Vera's head. His mouth uttering words after words, all incoherent and Latin to her, as if he were speaking to a 5-year-old baby. With a little Spanish she knew, she only caught to the word corazón. It was as if he were apologizing. When she gave a careful listen to his wordings, she realized he was speaking the corazón lyrics, his own song. Are you out of your mind? Listen, just because you're a celebrity doesn't mean you can act whatever way you want to. Social media is... She saw the brief flicker of anger pass through his eyes, but he covered it up, shutting her up mid-sentence by bringing his forehead close to hers, nose to nose, and eyes closed, locking head in his hands. At this point, Vera would be lying to herself. She did feel herself at loss of words and was swooning from the mad thumping of her heartbeat. But the whole thing did seem crazy. She was utterly confused. Was he by any chance suffering from bipolar disorder? Before she could confuse herself further, the torment or blissful moment was put to an end soon. Maluma looked behind her carefully, almost surreptitiously, then dropping the act altogether, loosening his grip and pushing himself feet apart. Lo siento, baby. I'm really sorry. Take care, Maluma baby. And where was Shefali anyways? Vera lowered down her volume, carefully checking her environment once again before replying to Soumya's question. Well, that reminds me. Shefali's expressions went sour immediately after Maluma exited. I found her burning holes into me. I anyways went ahead to filling with the details about how mental he was, but that lady was unaffected. I mean, why? And I couldn't dare to ask her why then, because she was literally shooting lasers. Woman, that means you weren't supposed to be there. You stood in place of Shefali. The server must have mixed you up with her and asked you to wait there instead. The girls were slowly joining in the missing pieces. Man, that's so desperate of her. She wanted to make it an art of accidental love. Yeah, that's more like it. Vera confirmed, sighing. But come on, yaar, it still doesn't make any sense. How was she so sure that Maluma would stand? Vera? The phone was about to face another misfortune if Vera's reflex did not react faster. Shefali? Vera's octave had gone higher, warning her mates to stay quiet. Oh, Vera, darling, please forgive my rude manners. I've been so caught up by the event, I forget that you're here too. Vera was puzzled. Shefali looked in good mood. Still, she sneakily hid the phone from her side. It's completely fine. I completely understand. I was actually enjoying the view. It's really pretty. Shefali's eyes hadn't missed Vera's hands, which were tensed from trying to hold this phone screen closer to her palm. Oh, how Vera wished they had cut the line. Dear, I hope you have gone through the confidentiality contract. Nothing, I mean it, nothing that happens here regarding our client specifically should get out from here. I speak it for your own good, or baby doll, you could get yourself into a lot more trouble than you imagine. It was clear warning that Shefali delivered in dangerously appropriate manner. Vera fell short of breath. Absolutely, Shefali. Good then. Come on, let's reach out to our contacts. Shefali dunked her hand in for one of the red wine glasses from a fleeting waiter's tray. Vera now finally realizing the upgrade in her mood. Sound sleep. It was a dream filled with sweet-smelling flowers, utterly calming. The dream was filled with happiness. In distant, Vera heard murmured voices, like birds chirping, but it sounded human as she got closer to it. What is she going to do? With no job and money, she's just a liability to us. We can't keep paying for her. Following the voice from the curtains of the bushy shrubs, she suddenly found herself land in her parents' living room, peeking at her parents' conversation. Suddenly, her mother turned towards her. Fashion, huh? Fashion? What good has fashion done to you now, huh? You are useless. You can't even be best in your own field, can't even earn good. Don't you regret not listening to me? Look at how much your friends earn being an engineer. They earn a 40K package compared to your meager some 15K. It was then where I realized she stood in the same room, same settings from years ago, when she broke the news to her mother. Broke the news of wanting to pursue fashion instead of engineering. You are a complete failure. The words echoed in her ears, suffocating her by each passing moment. She gasped for air, but she couldn't. A piercing sound crunching her breathlessness further. Drenched in sweat, Vera woke up, panting heavily. She wiped away the sweat, noticing the power cut, hence why the asphyxiation. To calm her nerves down, she turned the alarm off, turning on the phone screen, scrolling down for just any job reply on LinkedIn. Rows of Instagram, WhatsApp, and Facebook notifications interrupting mid-session. She ruthlessly swiped them clean. Why is finding jobs so dead hard? What is with this internship miniptado culture? I'm so frustrated. Fashion is killing me. The job hunt was a huge disappointment and rubbed harsh on her, for it was the onset of second week of her being jobless. How am I going to pay the rent, the bills? And the rows of paying staying pops weren't helping her situation. She finally gave in to reading one of them. Noor. How did you meet Maluma? Devika. OMG, are you with and Maluma dating? What? There were 10 more such messages on WhatsApp. She downloaded the image Devika sent. And there she was, with Maluma, caught up in an almost kiss scene. Angles. Damn those angles. Her eyes went to the headlines from the Gossip Latina, stating, Maluma kisses to make up his upset new fling. Ooh, a fling, eh? So, if you liked it, did not like it, please let me know in the comments. And if you really liked it, don't forget to like, comment, and obviously subscribe. A Maluma fan, Kiara Haley. See you later.